approach to the stage here. I want to thank you all for coming out today. Your elected leader is here. I'm going to turn this all over to her and let her take it from here.
So I'm here today because I got a call last night from this lady right here. Barbara called me to let me know that she had a vet in trouble. He was very distraught and had received a letter and was going to receive a visit today. Was concerned about his guns. I'm here today because I believe Priest River is the next battleground for the federal government. It's a war against our vets. It's been brought to my attention from Barbara, and we're all here today to rally in support of this veteran. The federal government, through the Veterans Administration, is trying to use some gray areas in the Brady Handgun Violence Protection Act to violate this constituent's Second and Fourth Amendments. This veteran is a Vietnam vet who's been a local member of the VFW for, over 5 years?
More years than I've been here.
More years than she's been here. So last year, he had a stroke, and that's myself. I apologize. Last year, he had a stroke, and in filling out the paperwork at the hospital, they checked the wrong box that said that this gentleman could not handle his finances.
They being his doctors?
Yeah. So we're here today because I'm finding this outrageous. This is outrageous because the federal government is ignoring the constitutional rights of citizens, and they're attempting to deprive this man of his personal protection rights. It's ironic because this same federal government who freely gave the Mexican drug cartels free weapons which killed U.S. law enforcement officers is now greatly concerned about the guns of my constituent here in Priest River. I find this chilling because it shows once again that we have an out of control, out of touch multitude of federal agencies that do not know how to deal with the citizens.
Amen.
I'm here today to let the VA and the federal government know that this is not acceptable in Bonner or Boundary County. North Idaho will not kick our veterans when they are down. I'll share a few parts of this letter with you that this veteran received, but it says in our this veteran received this letter just July 30th, and now just about 2 weeks later, we have here this letter. In our earlier letter, we told you that we were reviewing evidence on your ability to handle your financial affairs. We finished the review and decided you are not competent for VA purposes. Not but two sentences later, it states, as we advised you previously, the Brady Handgun Violence Protection Act prohibits you from purchasing, possessing, receiving, or transporting firearms or ammunition based on our determination that you are incompetent to handle your VA funds. You may be fined or imprisoned. This vet was up all night after receiving this letter. He's been very stressed out about this, and you know, our government is there because we put them there. They are to protect the citizens. They are to protect the threats. Our community are here to rally around this gentleman because he is not a threat to our community. This vet is not a threat to any of us here. And our government has real threats out there. ISIS, the borders, you can pick it. There's lots of them out here. This vet is not a threat in our community. And we're going to stand with him today. And I think I would like to turn the mic over to another representative Representative Matt Shea, and I think he has a few words to share.
So this isn't just about North Idaho, this is about the entire country. We the people have had enough. We have had enough of bureaucratic terrorism. We have had enough of the federal government overreach. We have had enough of the targeting of our veterans who served our country. Now there are some people who are trying to say this isn't a big deal. It's not a big deal that they sent him a letter that said because he had a stroke that they now can take his firearms. That's not a big deal. That's a big deal to me. Is it a big deal to you? Yeah. They then tried to say, "Oh, this meeting today, not a big deal. We just want to meet with him." Well, we're here today to make sure that that meeting occurs outside this gentleman's house.
Yeah.
We're also here today to make sure that no time in the future they come back to try to take this man's firearms. Now, they tried to say that, oh, this isn't about confiscating his firearms, but it's interesting that the VA official here in Idaho on the phone earlier admitted that this guy should not have a pistol on his hip or any guns in the house. Well, why did he say that? Because he would have to report it for confiscation. So anybody out there today who says this is not about confiscating firearms is lying to you, is lying to the American people. And unfortunately, this has been going on throughout the country. And it stops here in Priest River, Idaho. This vet is not a threat. 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 Now, I hope this emboldens everybody across this great country, in whatever community from Hoboken to Spokane, Washington, that if they ever hear this happen again, they will stand like we're standing today and say to the federal government, here's the line, you don't get to walk 1 inch further in violation of the Constitution. Our veterans deserve better than to be threatened, to be made afraid that they're going to lose the rights that they stood on the line to fight for all of us for. Right. Our veterans deserve better than that, and today as Americans, today united as citizens, we're telling the federal government, you're going to have to come through us to get to this veteran.
That's right.
Now, I want to thank the law enforcement that have already come forward and said they're going to stand with the people and they're going to stand with the Constitution. And I want to give them a hand right now and bring them up.
Hey, good morning. I want to tell you, it's a pleasure to stand here as your sheriff. And I made a commitment when I took my oath to uphold the Constitution of the state of Idaho and also the rules and the laws of the state of Idaho. And I'm standing with you this morning to do that and to follow through the Constitution. I want to make sure that Mr. Arnold's Second and Fourth Amendment rights are not violated, and we're not going to be enforcing rules and regulations and decisions made by people in a federal bureaucracy and a government. They're going to, if any action is going to be taken, it's going to go through the court procedure and through a rule of law and through the court. And we're not going to sit here and allow people just based on some opinion written by some rule or law. So I just want to know that as Representative Shea said, they may have to go through you, but they are going to have to go through the Bonner County Sheriff's Office, because we are not going to allow a bureaucratic organization to come and confiscate a weapon without due process. And it will not happen today. So I'm just hoping that they have our opportunity to interview and make those assessments. It's a shame that based on one doctor's assessment that because a man and a vet who has served this country had a stroke and as having seizure, that takes away his constitutional right to keep and bear arms, and then also his rights are being violated without due process. And so that's not going to happen in Bonner County, and it's not going to happen today. And I encourage Mr. Arnold to have a conversation with them and send them back to their office in Spokane.
Thank you, Daryl.
Thank you, Daryl.
We're going to take a little walk. We're going to walk down to this veteran's home, and we're going to stand with him, and we're going to wait. So that's where we're going to head. Those of you that don't want to walk, you can drive along.
How far is that?
It's not very far. So we're going to lead the way. So we'll leave in about 5 minutes, and if you want to drive, you can follow. Thank you.